I've been in radio for 9 years, and it's actually going to be 10 years this June. Well, I started in radio in 2004 in Dallas, and then once I graduated college in 2007, my wife and I we moved to Chicago. Then I started in Chicago in '07 and was there for 2 years, and then moved down here to Birmingham, where my wife is from, and I started working here since 2009. I have seen a significant difference. If you look at more people now are going to satellite radio or Pandora, other forms of way to get information, more other ways to get music. Um, there has been a slight drop in listenership, but it's starting to gain because people realize that in order to get some of the information they need, like let's say when the April 27th tornado hit Birmingham, you can't get that on Pandora. You know, only way you can get that information is through the radio. And sometimes when the power goes out, your radio is still available because all you have to do is pop some batteries into your radio, and there you are. You're informed. And radio now is starting to get that momentum back in listenership. Well, the number of employees have definitely decreased. They actually have you doing more for less. If you think about it, like what I do, I'm a producer. I do events. I'm a tech guy, web guy. In the past, you actually had an individual to handle those specific jobs. Now you have one person handling 10 different positions. And when I tell people when they get into this industry, if you want to learn something, if you want to really be in this industry, you must learn everything. You can't just think you're going to be on the air and not know how to run the board. And you can't think you're just going to run the board and not know how to do the web. You're not going to be able to just know how to do the web and not know how to go out and sell the station. You know, you have to submerge yourself into this business in order to really be successful in this business. But technology has changed. More and more radio stations, especially your music formats, are going towards more of a syndicated type of programming. Even your talk radio is more syndicated. There's really not a local feel to it. Most of the times it's somebody out of New York or someone out of California who really doesn't have a huge presence here. Your music stations are nothing but a iPod on the radio, and you have somebody coming out with a 10-second blurb about something, and then you go right into music. There's no connection to the community anymore like radio used to be, and there's really not that much of a presence. I mean, if you look at radio, we we get most of our business from advertisers. We're basically an advertising company. However, we don't advertise ourselves. We don't go out and promote our station. You rarely see any billboards about any of the shows or any commercials. You know, if you look at some old commercials about radio, you see that they used to have commercials about their programming all the time. You don't see that anymore. There's no personal touch to radio anymore, and I think that's really has changed. Is everything is becoming robotic,
Okay.
and now hopefully there's some radio stations starting to see that they can't be that way anymore and be successful. But now you're starting to see that they're starting to become more of a local, a feel of a local touch to radio now. I see it going back to what radio used to be. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be let me rephrase that. It's not going to be what it used to be. There's going to be more of a local feel. You can't be successful in this business or any radio station can't be successful if if your listeners can't connect to you. So they realize that in order to be a thriving force and have the listenership, they have to have some type of local personality here. So I see that in the future there's going to be more of that, and I'm starting to see that. I mean, I'm proof of that. I mean, Crawford, the station I work for, they have local, and now we have a local morning show, and now we have a local afternoon show, which I actually produce, and you're starting to see that now. There's, even with music, our sister station, there's DJs live all throughout the day. There's no syndicated, pre-recorded show anymore. There's actually a live body there that's giving you information, and that's what they realize listeners want. Well, I see myself in the future. I'm more of a behind the scenes guy. I do some on air stuff as well, but I like really being behind the scene. I like, being out, doing events, shaking people's hands, kissing babies. But what I see myself in the future most likely will be on air / maybe station manager, or even actually, honestly, I would like to have my own radio station. But right now I have my own little side production company that hopefully that will grow into something as well. I like to do my own commercials and audio, video work projects that I do on the side. But if that is successful, and which it will be, I would like to have my own radio station. Well, in this business, you got to be confident. You can't second guess yourself. You can't overthink anything. You got to have. I always tell people you got to have short-term memory and thick skin, because people are going to say things about you. They're going to always criticize you. There's always going to be something that you're not doing right, and you got to be able to go out into this world and realize that no matter what you do, someone's always going to complain or say something negative about you. You can't let that deter you from your goals. And if you want to be successful, you gotta know how to let that stuff bounce off you, and just do what you gotta do, and do it to your best abilities. Because ain't nobody else is gonna, no one out there in the world is ever gonna to just hand you something, and you think that's all it's gonna be. No, you gotta work for it, and you gotta work hard. And if you're gonna be in this business, there's gonna be times where you're here from 5 in the morning until like midnight, and trust me, I've done it many of times. So when people tell me that I can't do this or I can't do, you can't tell me what I can't do. There's no can't is not in my vocabulary. So yes, I won't say. People may say that's conceited, but I see it as being confident. I'm just confident in what I do, and I just want. When I see people have a passion just like what I have, I want to give them the tools that make me successful to make them successful.